Hello there, weary travelers, and welcome to another installment of Forging Altea. So, welcome. OBS is still telling me that I'm dropping frames, but I hope that's okay. Welcome to everybody that is joining the chat. Hi Sikowai, hi there. I hope everything comes through okay, so I changed some things around with the audio and stuff, so I hope that's all working. Because you never know, technology is a blessing and a curse at the same time. Alright, so today, big things for today. As you might saw on my tweet, today is one of the biggest milestones of this patch, the upcoming patch. We are going to integrate what we have been doing the last couple of streams, and that is hopefully by the end of the stream we will be moving pawns or characters over the battlefield and attacking other units from the opponent, etc. And I can say that for this we have a reveal here. Stay hydrated, yes. So today you will see something that we have not been talking about, and that was not included in the trailer patch, but I think, and we all think on the team, that it will be a great addition to what we are doing here. So I don't think Cloud knew that this will be shown, or let's see what you say. So yeah, so this is, by the way, the blood of my enemies. That's just juice. But staying hydrated is important, as Top already said. So without further ado, it's probably best to show you how the priest looks, because we did not finish that last time we streamed. So let me just quickly switch. He's curious. Okay. Switcheroo. Okay. And first off, I see I did not change things around here, so I think this will become a tradition on the stream to do this live. We are going to... What are we doing? Character... Gameplay integration. And things we need to do for that is a response command to ability converter. So that's the high level thing. Very technical description, but you will see what we're gonna do. And after that it's man, I always forget this. Let's just put playtesting here, because hopefully everything works after that. Okay. So I hope yeah, you can see. CKY, you wanted a review, right? Yeah, I hope he wanted one, so I have one for him. Let's see. Now currently I'm displaying the night, but to show you what I've been up to. So there are these two priest stuff, and I think last stream you already saw quite a bit of how the stream, how the priest works. Also, let me quickly change to a bit of another music, so this is easier to work with though. Reveal, yeah. Yeah, so let's quickly jump into how the priest is looking. Just from the animations. So we have books now, but you saw that last stream, and what we can also do is like switch between all the books. Yeah, I'm on the wrong one. There we go. So there you see the book is changing depending on the rarity I select. No clue what I have in store. Yeah, we'll see. And of course, since he's a bit magical because he prays to Cathena, he has also this magical ability to just lift this book up and it opens on itself and stuff like that. Yeah, so this is kind of how this animation looks if he wants to do something. So this is the action pose, so to say. So action stance called here. And yeah, so this is the basic. And when we do attack one, let's just attack a knight here. Let's see if we do that and execute the... Yeah, I changed things around so stuff are breaking in the editor. But that should not be a problem. Excuse me. So, a simple attack from a priest looks something like this.
Stand down.
Okay, and I see there's stuff broken. I did not test this before stream, so I probably should have. But there are some missing pieces. Let's quickly have a look. What's going on? Before the big reveal is happening. So we have a visual effect with the charge here. So this should actually fire. And it seems it doesn't. Uth'arak, hello. Welcome to the stream. Always happy to see you. So let's quickly check this out in code if the event is fired. So I think there is. Yesterday I spent almost all day merging stuff together, so there's bound to be some errors here. We need tools and weapons and book. And in the book skin, I think now in the visual effects, we have a method that is spawning the charge. Yeah. And that is called from the skin somewhere. Let's quickly find the usages. On attack begin, yeah. So let's see why this is not happening. Demoing stuff is always a curse. Okay, so it is firing. And that is fine. Ah, okay. I see the problem here. I changed things around with the animations. Priest. And there is this, and this should be charge, as well as here. And now it should work. Let's make it big again, so you can see. Alright, so, showcase. Ah yeah, sorry, I still have the breakpoint in. And also here. So, alright, so there it is. Yeah, we have sound effects, so I can quickly just pause the music so you can hear better. But
stand down.
This is what it looks like right now. Don't mind the action feedback here with the 0. This is just a work in progress and is not working in this setup since this is only to test the abilities. But yeah, this is how the attack is gonna look like.
Stand down.
Alright, so cool thing here is that the mage can actually defend that stuff. So let's quickly have a look at that. Alright, so priest was the most complicated one because he can attack, he can heal, and he can defend. Kind of like almost exactly like the mage. Maybe we changed it down the line. but right now this is how it works. Ah, that's a hit, sorry. I wanted a miss.
Stand down.
Alright, so if I play a miss,
Stand down.
we will see that he will create his little shield here that he's not struck by lightning. But yeah, that's essentially how the attack is going to look. It's a bit different than before, but still leans on what we had in previous iterations of the game. And of course, if I go here and change to, say, a rare one, which looks like this, we will see different colors.
Stand down.
Yeah, so this is a yellowish thingy. Let's see if I can find a red one. I'm not always sure which one is red. Yeah, this one is quite cool as well, because that's a mixture of, no, that's the nature one. I think this one was, yeah. This is a mixture of green and purple.
Stand down.
So yeah, so we try to incorporate features from the items, so everything seems that it fits together. All right, so since the priest can not only attack, so he can also heal. Let's have a quick look at that. This looks exactly the same with each book. So this is always holy magic. He's essentially praying to Cathena to heal his ally. So let's quickly have a look. I want a hit with the type heal. Let's see if this is set up. The knight is here. Yes. Okay. So if I do this, we can heal our ally. Yeah. So that's pretty simple. It's at least visual effects and sound effects wise. So yeah. Music back on. So the big task now is to integrate all of that so we can use it in game. But first off, the big reveal. Let me quickly switch to the scene here. You guys ready? Oh god. So let's put this here and quickly start this thing with the cinematic. So everything you see is work in progress, but I can at least show you how the new hut looks like if anything is working. Sorry guys, it seems like there's still a bug here. Let's see. I cannot instantiate pawns. Why? There's the cinematic. Let's quickly debug so you can see it in all its glory when the cinematic plays. Okay, maybe it's best to just break here on the exception. The object I want to instantiate is null, so the prefab is null with the type king. Okay, that's weird. Yeah, this setting, it stops everywhere. Let's quickly have a look. Gameplay, board. So these are new things we are doing here. So there is a king pawn. Maybe, yeah, it's missing here. Probably best to revert and put that back in. Let's quickly find that. There's the king. Alright. Okay. Cinematic on and go. Alright, so cinematic is, I think, almost exactly the same. The new arena you already saw, but this is the big reveal. We have a new HUD. This is how it looks like. Health of you and opponent. This is like the AP. And I don't really know what this is. Cloud, can you tell me? Because that's the health. That's probably corresponding to the number. Yeah, we have a new countdown, though it's more apparent what turn timers are doing, and the new traversal ball. So yes, this is essentially how the work in progress looks. That's the AP bar. Yeah, I figured. Also, you can see the ranks here, so they are not quite as big as before. And I want to point out the special detail to when it's spawning. Let's watch that back again. We talked about putting it into the... Did you hear that? That's amazing. Okay, so current setup is...
This arrow has your name on it.
Yeah, and we have new palm plates or character visualizations as well. Here, there is something coming here. Maybe I will do this on the stream, but probably not. But there will be a portrait here of the guy you select. Let's quickly... No. MW, that's still a bug, but we already wrote that down and it's taken care of. Yeah, we're watching the cinematic again because it's so beautiful. So everything you see right now, you can still notice these lighting artifacts and stuff. So lighting will be redone as well because beautiful. The pawns are not that well lit either, so this will all be done once the gameplay integration is finished. So first off, we have now dragons in the Dragon's Lair because Uth'arak, it's just a feature in preparation phase. Yeah, that's one thing you can call it. Uth'arak and the tongue of the gods means Dragon's Lair. And we thought it would be best to just place some dragon stuff. So these are essentially dragon bones, and let me quickly fly to the scene here so you can see it. Yeah, so dragon bones, we have some banner waving in the wind, wherever the wind is coming from, but it looks quite nice. I really like it. Then of course you need fire to light the thing. Well, there's still lava, but that's not doing the trick. So yeah, so this is what the new arena is going to look like. There's still a few things that are coming. Also to all the abilities you've seen, there's already plans to make them better, bump up the quality even more. So really excited to put it in. So new animations are in the making, stuff like that. But yeah, that's essentially the new Uth'arak arena. And today we are... I did it again. But this time we are not watching it. Okay, I'm dropping frames again, I hope it's still coming through okay. But I'm going to disable this cinematics for now because it's just easier for me to get into the game. Because then I'm just straight into here. Yes, so what are we trying to do today is when I click on a pawn and say, hey, move here, he should actually do it. Because currently he says no, I don't wanna. But yeah. And first off, as I wrote, we need to convert the previous command that we gave to the pawn or to the character to the new ability format, and I kinda started today doing this, but most of it we're still gonna do here on the stream. So yeah, guys, what do you think of the new HUD? Sikowai, Naki, Karak? I think it's a great addition. What do you think? Alright, so Chris, hi. Welcome. You missed the big reveal. Or you were here before and didn't write, but okay. So since we are more into code now, I like it a lot. Thanks. So credits go to Cloud and the whole design team. So they built that while I was doing other stuff. But I think it looks great, yeah. Alright, so there's a lot of code here that we essentially don't need anymore. So this is like, be gone. And I saw today that we might need to change a bit of the attributes, but that's just like getting data into this thing so we can do essentially what we want to do. And previously, this is how this looks like. We got data from the backend and said, hey, board, please attack. And then we had a chain of things that was problematic when we got stuck somewhere. So I will see again after you finish. Yeah, probably. And this is, I think you know these bugs where like a pawn suddenly like freeze mid animation and stuff. So this new system should mitigate that. Yeah. So let's see what we need to do. We need essentially first off a command is a scriptable object. So this is perfect because we need a reference to something that I'm gonna pass in, and that's going to be the ability subsystem. I hope it's... What did I call it? Let me quickly check. So, ability subsystem, yeah, there it is. It's a seed class. Why isn't it catching up? Import. Thank you. Ability subsystem. So, and now from here, I can essentially get an ability, and I know I want the attack ability. Do I though? No, I don't. Yeah, well, I know I need the attack ability, but I need to differentiate which character is doing the attack. So essentially we need the board and find where we are attacking from. By the way, I'm not sure if so from previous street, but we recently made it easier to join. Yeah. So MW is onto something here. We I think we changed this today. So in the light of the new patch, which changes everything, well, it kind of really does. We decided to lower the hurdle to get started. So now you can sign up on a waiting list and get to game almost instantly. So there is a bit of an XP grind, but you can essentially do it in 5 minutes. So if you know anybody that's not yet playing the game, give him the link, let him sign up via your access code, and yeah, we will see you in the game. But now I'm going to find out which one is attacking. So metadata. We have metadata here and we are attacking from. So this is essentially the attacker. And the attacker is invalid, then we can do anything. And if that's not the case, we will have an ability here that we will pattern match. So this is a new feature in C#, which I'm really liking because I'm a functional guy. And this works like this: attacker type switch, and essentially switching on all the arms. Yeah, so in the case of a knight, we want the ability subsystem get ability, and essentially want the default knight default attack ability. Yeah, there it is. What are you complaining about? Incorrect number of parameters. Yeah, probably, because this is quite the type. You also want the arguments, the metadata, and the context. Okay. It's the board context, board ability context, right? Yeah, so that's quite a type. Now I need all of the screen. So yeah, there we have the ability. But I probably don't want it to be exactly like that, because I just want an ability. And currently I don't have a method like this here. Right? No, there's always types involved. So essentially I want this, but without the types. Which is not possible. Yeah, it is. It is. Okay. We want an ability. That's it. Get rid of the types. So this is just for type safety in other situations. But in that case, I just want to say, hey, this type, give me that. And we want it to be as an ability. Yes. Alright, so this could probably be just one line. And there we are. So we just say here, we want the knight default attack. And same game for everybody else. Hunter. Ability type. Mage, where it is? Yeah, there it is. Get ability. Priest? Priest. Where it is? Yes, there it is. So the king cannot attack. In that case, we're going to return null, and none is always. So basically, we just do this with. Because pattern matching is awesome, we can have this default arm, and if none of the others match, we're just going to return null, and if the ability is null, we are going to return. So the thing here is wrong, which you probably already spotted. Alright, so next up we need to execute the ability. That's what we've been doing with the button press on the inspector. So now I want the ability executor, which is static, and then exec ability. Oh, gotcha. So we cannot do it that way. So we really need to split it up, which is fine, I guess. Probably would be best to just create functions for everybody. Yeah, because the abilities are dependent on different kind of data, so that probably makes sense. Maybe we need to simplify this later on. But right now we want features. So what we're doing, we are executing and this is the night attack, let's say. So a normal switch would suffice here. Attack type, and then we just say, hey, I want these. Night attack. There will be a hunter attack. Mage attack. It's happening. And obviously the priest attack. Priest attack. I hate it when it's doing that. So let's quickly generate those. Rider. Okay. So now they're backwards in order, and I hate that. So the internal order of characters is always knight, mage, knight, hunter, mage, priest. Until new characters come along, but we will see how they will influence the ordering. Alright, so we can't essentially do this anymore. That's essentially getting the attacker and calling the thing on it. And we still need this. Get ability with the type knight default attack ability. You want the arguments, you want the metadata, and you want the board context. Where is it? There it is. Ability. So if this thingy is null, we can't do anything. If it isn't, then we say ability executor exec ability, and now we need the metadata and the context. Maybe I can do this generically. Let me quickly check. So it needs to be a struct, and the context needs to be a class. So we essentially could do it, but let's just quickly finish that here. So, does he want the metadata? Okay. So the context of the thing. Context of the thing. Let me quickly check how we are going to creating. Are we creating these? Yes. Debug board ability context. Okay. So essentially we say board ability context for, and there should be one for the board, and there is one. That's awesome. There it is. Yeah. So that's easily created. Can do this here. So we say ability context, and we make the board ability context for context board. There we go. Then we're going to pass this along. Board ability context. Let's say context. And last step is creating the metadata. And I see we have that here already. So maybe we don't need what we had before. That's what I was talking about earlier. So let's see. Abilities, definitions, knight default attack. We have metadata here, and we say we want this from the response, but we don't have the response in the command, right? Where is this coming from anyway? So essentially it would make sense to just pass this through, since Okay, something happening. Max, hi, welcome. Now the inner circle of my friends is finding this Twitch channel. So I know Max. Max is a good friend of mine. Yeah. We probably need to change that because that's like just out of date. We want the attack pawn response. So a command now does. How is this implemented? It needs to be a struct. Okay. So let's quickly change that. Command. This is the response, and a response can be anything, really. The response type of the backend response. Huh, that's probably not a good idea because I need this here. Huh. So probably best would be to, yeah, that was too much. So we have that here. We could essentially just say, hey, we're also saving this response directly. So attack pawn response. Response to create the metadata from. So we can still access the stuff here. God, I cannot talk today. Yeah, but I get this data from the response as well, so that's kind of needless. Pawn attack. What was it? So many names. Attack pawn response. Gotcha. So command. There's the response. We can create a command with this response. Response. All right. Execute. Yes. I command. You say the metadata needs to be a struct, and I say otherwise. I say it needs to be a response. Type of the response. All right. Command response. So now that we're here, we can say response, and we have a from here, so we can still use it like we did before. And then we also need to pass this along. So pawn, what was it? Attack pawn response. Yeah, I keep forgetting. And there we have metadata exclusively for this thing. And this metadata is knight default attack metadata, which is going to be created from the response. There we go. Metadata context. Import static members. Okay. No, I don't want that. Oh, I need to disable this with prags. No. Yeah, keep yelling at me. All right, so this is go progress. We want the context response. Oh god, I essentially don't need that because I have it right here. Nope, I don't have it right here. I need to pass it along. Right? I do have it here, right? It's just a response, yeah, totally. So this is going to be created with the board, yes. And that's essentially it. So this is also something that we would need to think about. Get ancient power after something's done. So we will nuke this and keep this for later to do integrate this with the new system. Alright, so we essentially need to copy paste here, which is not great, but I will find a solution for that later on. Or we essentially pass this in, yes. And then we just say, this is the mage default attack ability with the mage default attack ability arguments and the mage default attack ability metadata, yes. We don't have a context, that's no problem at all. There we go. Hunter default attack ability. Hunter default attack ability arguments. Metadata, yes. The exec has a problem here. Why? The type must be convertible to, and it isn't. It should be. Match default attack ability arguments, right? Yes. Ability arguments. So what do I get back here? Mage default attack ability. Yeah, that should be right. It's working here. So maybe I fucked up implementing it. We'll see. Priest default attack ability. Priest default attack ability arguments and priest default attack ability metadata. Yeah, this is weird. What's happening? There's the metadata. The metadata is abstract. Then we have a class. This essentially exposes stuff to Visual Scripting. Yeah, it should actually work. So I need to tell you as well. That would be stupid because you can infer that stuff, right? I'm telling you. Ah, gotcha. There's the how I create that stuff. Obviously. So we need this here and we need this here. Now he's happy and he can infer the stuff. Alright, so let's pass this along. Great. So with that done, it probably makes sense to make the move first, and I started with the attack, so I got carried away. But first off, we need to change a few other commands here. There's a factory of those. Where do we use that? Okay, we use that here. So essentially there's a get command. Yeah, since it's a scriptable object, that makes sense. Yeah, it would probably be best to say here, there's no metadata anymore, there's just a response. That's it. Yeah, this can be null. It's a scriptable object. Yeah. We care about it later. Okay, so move command would probably be best to do next. We have a move pawn response. It should be pretty straightforward. We want that here. We no longer want you. And we say response traversal points for now. And now this no longer exists, and we make a command from a response. Command response, yes. This will work. Tanking appears and self-heal. Let's make self-heal first. We want this response to be here. Be gone. And this. Alright. Could essentially write it like this, right? Why do I pass that in? Because I use it for getting it, yeah. But it's essentially this, yeah, that should work. And if I return that, I'm not using it. I'm returning that? Really? But that should be me. Yeah, types are weird. Okay, back here, so we have... Okay, this is a bit different. Now we have actions here, which essentially works as a response. So we can just pass this along when we say the self-heal command has this as a response, because it essentially just copy-pasted stuff. Yeah, we don't need that. Response healings, right? Gotcha. So this is up to speed. And let's make the move first. Yeah. So that should really be straightforward. First off, we probably check stuff if the mover is there. Pawns at response from, and if we have no mover, then something is fishy. So this will be turned into proper error handling later, but for now we just ignore that. And then we need the same I checked that we needed here. And that's the ability subsystem. And with the ability subsystem, we're going to fetch the move ability. Movability argument and movability metadata. And what are you missing? Yeah. The context. Yeah, it's the bot ability context. Move. Wrap long line. Ability. If the ability is not there, then I'm gone. Essentially. Alright. Ability executor. Exec ability, and we need the metadata. new move ability metadata, which is created from the response. And yeah, we also need the context, right? Ability context. No, there is a static, yes. Context port. So this is the connection to everything else. And yeah, that should be it. That should be it. And I closed it. There is executes command. Is that it? So yeah, we probably should await that. And but set the traversal points. Before that. Yeah. Let's see, I did not work on the state machine. So essentially our complete gameplay system is essentially a state machine where in a different state you can do stuff and in other states you can't. But let's see, maybe he moves. It would be a great win, especially if I get something like this down in the stream. So. Okay. So Chris, just for you, I'm not going to skip the cinematic so you can see how the new hut looks like. The big reveal of today's stream, so. There we are. Yeah. This is a Unity bug where when we change code, then it does not reload everything. So, but we do not need to watch that again. But now we're going to skip it again. Yeah, really hyped for the new hub. Okay, so knight. Please move here. Okay. Okay. So this doesn't work. We expected that. So let's see, get ability. Let's see if there's anything. I think I put all of those in the registry. But I may be mistaken. F5. Ah, yeah, I know what the problem is, obviously. Gameplay, there are the commands, and there's the move command, and the move command needs the ability subsystem. Which I hope is going to be initialized. No, it's not. So we should probably add it here. But to the prefab. Ability subsystem. Before the commander. Okay, so this looks good. Maybe it works first try, like second try, but yeah.
Give me something to crush.
Woo! It moved! So the animations are not quite fitting right now, but we will change that so they fit better. But essentially we just moved a pawn from one position to another. Pawn moved 60, but it only showed to move 10. Yeah, there's some other stuff happening in the back end here. Okay, but first success. I was not expecting that. I expected a lot more errors here, so. Yeah, and the problem you saw, like, when I did that and I said, hey, just move here.
Give me something to crush.
Then he just stayed in this stance because now we essentially can't do anything because the state machine is not there yet. But first we wanted to do the response command to ability convert, so this is mostly done now. So yeah, let's add a comment and check this ability subsystem. Awesome. And now we do this for all of our commands. So this is a bit of monkey work, but we can quickly churn in through that. It's also probably a good idea. Maybe return the task here and await the top level. Probably better. In that case, we return a completed task. And in that case, we can also switch back to this syntax, which I like a lot more. So none of those. We have a task completed at that point, and otherwise we will return these: hunter attack, mage attack, and priest attack. And then we say await task. What are you complaining about? To switch statement, to if statement. What? Why would I want to do that? Okay. But it's an error. Cannot find best common type for types. Ah, because yeah, obviously. These methods need to be changed, so we can return that. Awesome. All right. And we obviously need also this. Right? No. Come on. It's just copy pasting. Yeah. And also this is no longer needed. A little bit of cleanup here as well. Let's put that out of the way for now. So yeah, we now do this for the rest of the attacks. Or not attacks. Yeah, essentially smooth and self-heal are quite different, so they are not abilities, so to say. King appears, sorry. So this would be different. When is the update planned? No concrete date yet, but if everything works out and I get this stuff done, so this is kind of the last thing, and still some cleanup for, like you saw the animations, we need to adjust that currently, so it looks good. Probably somewhere in the ballpark of next week, yeah. Next week. But again, like every stream, don't pin me down on that. Okay. What is Unity doing? But guys, I'm excited, so I think this could go smooth. But I'm not yet convinced. But yeah. let's move in pawn again, because it has been a long time since I could do that in this state. So
Give me something to crush.
also there are no footsteps, which is weird. I think we added them, or I added them, right? So let's quickly check that. Environment, platform, board. So this is just a board, and we probably need a box collider here and add it to ground. Yes. This is why it's not working. Let's quickly add that. So we can also hear a few footsteps here. So this is always a pain in the ass to get this right, but at times like these, I wish the four-way view that you have in Unreal, because that's pretty convenient to set stuff up like that. So this is the ground. Nope, that was the wrong one. We want this one. And this is used so on a specific animation event when the pawn is like the character is touching down on the ground. I'm going to perform a check on which ground I am, and depending on that I play a different sound. So we have also wood, grass, a foreshadowing of future arenas maybe, and stone and gravel. I think we also have gravel, but yeah. Essentially how the system works. Are there leaks today? You can't just create more scene windows? I could, but yeah, that's probably what they would say. But you know, Unreal has a button where we just creates 4 windows out of 1, and then yeah. But yeah, you're right. I could probably do that, but I just wanted to rant, okay? So, does this work? It should. Okay. So if we're lucky and the system is set up correctly, we should now hear footsteps.
By my
do this
honor.
again and
Give me something to crush.
can't. Why can't we? I'm getting sidetracked, but yeah. Once Unreal supports Rust, I will consider its advantages again. Yeah, maybe we need to create a new game engine, but yeah, there's still Bevy. And after that there's still Godot, so. Let's quickly check the pawn if that works. Too many files in the project. Entities, pawn. Footsteps. So these should actually trigger.
By my honor. What?
Come on.
Give me something to crush.
Okay, so ground type is yeah, that probably makes sense because I am expecting a thing on there. Did it? No. Yeah. I don't have the ground component on. Pokemon Go main theme. actually pretty good. So, ground. There we are, and this one, yeah, there you see types. So we have grass, wood, gravel, and concrete. And concrete is stone, so to say. But now we should hear footsteps. One feature at a time. Alright, so.
What?
What?
Give me something to crush.
Yes, so here we are. Awesome. Yeah, we need to change the rate of play on the animation probably, but that's fiddly work. Would rather not do this on the stream, so we are going to focus probably next on the state machine, which will be, yeah, let's see the state of the state machine. But first, finish that up and commit that probably, and check the ability subsystem. Right, and here we execute the command, night, attack, execution. So we call it exec. Exec. Board ability context. So the board ability context is just there to allow the ability to access data from the board. So the board, so to say, is all of these tiles and what is placed on these tiles. Currently that's just pawns, but later down the road there will be new stuff. Foreshadowing. But yeah, that's essentially why we need the context here. So at the beginning you also saw we spawn the pawns or the characters, and then we have all this data available via the board class. So, and this is just a wrapper around that because I want to debug as well. So I have a debug setup which is not entirely the board but just the information I need, and for that there's this indirection of concerns here. A awaitable task. Waitable, yes, thank you. And this essentially is just copy paste with a few minor changes. So priest attack, hunter attack, mage attack. Awesome. So essentially the attack command is done with the conversion. I never put any comments here, so gameplay command factory or registry creates a move command given a move pawn response. To create a command. So created move command. This is essentially just to finish that up and commit that. So we can copy paste that and change stuff here. Alright. Next, creates a king appears. Given a king appears. Come on, appears. when English is hard as well. Alright. Then self-heal, which is going to be lost. Creates a self-heal command. Given a turn change action self-heal. A self-heal turn change self-heal action. Yeah, that's probably more correct. Action. Self-heal command out of. So the commands that you see is essentially just a command pattern. So this is just to decouple separations concerns. So one side is the backend where we get the information, then we convert it to a command. The command is responsible to tell the gameplay system how to respond to that. Okay, now created self-heal command. Alrighty. So this is for later. This is probably done. And this is also for later. So let's commit that stuff right now. What did I change here? Yes, this is new. Pre-default attack. I don't think I changed something in here that's important. I did that before. That's the move command. These are the events. Yes, I added the ground. But probably I just want these and this, and also quickly back to Unity, so we can also give the ability system to the attack command. Yes, that should be about right. And I just saw there is something missing, and that's the box group. Settings. Or rather subsystems, because that's a different category that we use. Where's the move? There's the move. There we go. Import. Come on. Thank you. The guys at the office always make fun of me because I have a broken keyboard. I don't know if you can tell, but it's essentially broken. And then when I mistype, they always say, you need a new keyboard. Come on, Unity, you can do it. Okay. So we know compiler errors. Let's switch back to the commit and see. So yeah, we added that. We added that. And that's essentially the conversion part done. Char abilities add response to ability conversion layer in the command. Yeah, that's essentially what we did. Is everything in there? Yes. So another commit we can make is There's something different. Footsteps. This was just these two. Feet. Arena. Uth'arak. Edit. Come on. Edit. Ground. Component for footstep system. In Uth'arak. Okay. Then what we change here? Yeah, we show abilities, added abilities subsystem system to scene context for initialization. Yes. Then this was show pawn. Come on. Fixed priest attack and heal visual effects animation events. Finally, we did stuff in there, but that's not relevant. And this is, yeah, sure, pawns, edit, propagation. Thank you. To the pawn when the match is not available, which is in the test scene. This is just so we can test. So 5 commits already. Moving forward. Okay. So state machine. Now it gets nitty gritty. There is a state machine somewhere in here. I presume you can't see the file tree there because it's really small. But yeah, so here we are. This is the cinematic state. This works. Then we have to select formation. This also works. Then we start match, which also works. So these are not to our interest. So we need player and enemy turn. First up is the selection. Yeah, this was slimmed down significantly. So let's see. If we click or touch, we check what we clicked. And if we already have someone selected, where is this coming from? Okay, this is coming from the board. We deselect if it's a void click. We did not click on anything. Yes. If the pawn we clicked is not selectable, we return. If the select is not equal to null. If it's the same we clicked. Okay, yeah, then we do nothing as well. Otherwise, we deselect the selected and select a new one. Yeah, so this is pretty straightforward. All right. Gotcha. So nothing we need to change here. We probably need to do the plan move. So this is when let's quickly show you. OBS is still saying that I'm dropping frames. I hope the stream is still working on your end. So So here we are, and right now we're in the selection state. So I can go in and select any pawn I want. In this case it's the opponent.
The power charges.
And if I click on mine, I get these action buttons, which also scale when I zoom, but because I saw a bug earlier, might need to investigate it, but that's probably pretty small on your end as well, so I will switch to maximize here. We want to help you, yeah. Alright, so now if I go into this mode, I am essentially in the plan move mode. So we display where the pawn can move. So you essentially can't move here because like these guys are in the way, and this is where he can't move because he does not have enough traversal points. And if I go in right now, so this doesn't work right now because I need to fire events for that. But essentially, yeah, and just saw that the weapons are also not working with the shader, so we can look into that. But yeah, essentially what's happening is I just see where the user is clicking on the board, and I spawn like this ghost here and draw this arrow. And once that is confirmed, currently we move into a move state and we wait for the move to finish, but that will change, so we will not wait for the move to finish. You can then go in and I don't know, go to this pawn while this one is moving and say, hey, you just go here now, right? So this essentially should speed up a gameplay significantly, because right now waiting for a pawn to move here,
Give me
1,
to crush.
2, 3, 4, 5, it's almost 5 seconds, and in that time we can still say, hey, please move here. So yeah, that's the idea behind it. Okay, so let's see. Okay, this is quite more complicated than the selection. This is the handle confirm. Yeah, and then we do that, and essentially we no longer do that. We just go in and say, hey, we want back to the selection. That's it. And it's probably best to remove those. So I am forced to also fix these errors here. Yeah, we want back to the selection, period. Same here. And these no longer exist because, yeah, fire leave mode. We probably need that. Plan move. Then we say we're leaving the mode and getting back to this one. So let me quickly switch that here. Okay, so yeah, what we did here, we just waited for stuff to happen. So and this we don't need anymore as well. So when we get the confirmation that this worked, let's move back here. So this is when we get the confirmation from the backend. Yeah, the move is valid. We can do that. Then we do just that. Right. Why are we telling the command to be created? I'm curious. When I can find them, yeah, there they are. Move command. So this command, yeah, that's handled in the player turn state, right? So yeah, that probably makes sense to have this centralized. And we just need to do leave mode, which I also can do in a centralized case, I guess. If I say handle, okay, this really awaits this thing. Yeah, probably best to keep it in the actual state. Yeah, still is there. And then we say, hey, move back to selection, so you can just move on. But we also, when this worked, we want to say the selected is now deselected. Right? We move away from the mode and we deselect the selected. Done. Meaning we no longer need this class. Just looking over if there's anything left. Like, this line is no longer relevant, so we can probably go in and say bye bye. I like it when I can delete stuff, so the project is getting cleaner. Alright, so we cannot test that yet because we have still errors here. Oh, we need to do the same for all of the others. Heal states. So let's see, what did we do here? We probably did some stuff. If we have selected, yeah, this is no longer needed as well, but we actually do quite the same as we did before. If the selected is selected, we deselect it. And here, just for clarity, a target is always coupled to a selection, so we no longer need this line, because if we deselect the selection, the target will also be automatically be untargeted, if there is one. But yeah, that's I think that's it. So let me delete that as well. And then there's the attack state, and that's probably also the same. If we have a selected one, we just deselect them. And with this line, everything should work. Yes. Be gone. No, I don't want to rename you, I want you to be gone. Thank you. Alright. So. This should actually work. Now I need to see and look if the machine is this set up correctly, because these are all scriptable objects, so I can put them together in the editor. That's always nice to have it data driven. Okay, so these are the commands. Yeah, that's still in gameplay. Finite state machine. So we have machines. This is the player turn, and there are, yeah, we need to get rid of those. Selection, plan move, plan attack, plan heal, and plan surrender, and default is selection. That's correct. That's weird why this is displayed, but that's none of our concern right now. Enemy turns are still the same. Plan surrender is also just one state, which terminates the game. Let me quickly do that here. So there's a check mark now, and yeah, let's make, The finger, you can't do the finger. So we do this, remove that, playtesting and fixing errors as we go along. That's essentially what we're doing. Okay. So let's test this, right? Yeah, this bug. It's always the same with Unity. Okay, so. Tell me it's my turn. So now I can move here, and while this is going, I can also move here. I can't, because pawn moved 50, but it's only allowed to move 10. Yeah, I think that's a local problem. Probably also because I'm not currently updating my traversal points correctly, which might be a problem, but we can look into it. But just move slightly, and then we move slightly again.
Give me something to crush.
Yay! We need to consider some things. Bye, Karak. Have a good night. We probably won't allow to... Yeah, but that's... Let's see. This should actually work. Yeah, it was nice having you. Bye.
Hey?
Yeah, I know.
Hey, give me something to crush.
I should actually say that this one cannot be moved to. Because when I execute that, the pawn, like, logically still already stands there and is an obstacle for this pawn, so to say. He's not even carving that out. So that says to me that the actual placement actually doesn't work. So yeah. That means fixing stuff again. And that's happening in an ability action. And we call this one Place Navigator, I think it was. Okay. Let's see. Something fishy going on here. So I know it's small on your side, but
what?
For testing, I think that's okay right now. If I move here. Okay. I move from 3-7 to 7-7, and I tell the current tile I remove myself as an occupant. I currently should have 1, yes. And if I remove myself, I have 0. That's correct. Then I set my new tile, and then I add myself as an occupant. So this tile should now have 1 occupant. And when I tell the tile, what is it, pawn, I should have a pawn here, right? Yeah, I do. So that works, actually.
Give me something to crush.
Weird stuff happening. Okay, then it's probably an error in the pathfinding. Because that would be easy to fix. But let's see if it's a problem with the pathfinding. Pathfinding. It essentially goes to the board as well, so let's see. There's the board. Where do we use that stuff? Compute movable. Ah, I know what the problem is. I know what the problem is. Because these tiles where you can move to are pre-computed, and I need to recompute them when I click on a pawn, right? Yeah, because things might have changed. So the old way is not sufficient anymore. Yeah. Compute movable coordinates, the navigator. When do we want to do that? Essentially every time the board changes, and we would probably it would make much more sense if we compute that when we click on it. So, but that means if I'm going to fetch the pawn during some time, and there could be wrong data. So. But this is pretty expensive, so I would not like to put this into an event where, yeah, something moves on the board, you need to recompute, or everybody needs to recompute, and then I can access it and it's alright, but it seems like we need to do that. Right now, just to test this out, if the computation is correct here, I will go into the state machine and say in the selection, when I select a new pawn, yeah, I just do it in line right now. That's not the correct way, but it'll do. So if I get the pawn, then get a component of it, and that's the navigator, and I can it's not public, yeah, we just make it public for now. Compute coordinates. Right. Yeah. Which is also wrong, because now that we have parallelized the execution, which you saw before, we kind of need to do this every time something changes on the board. Because I could be... yeah, but it's instant. But yeah, that should work. Big brain alert, yeah. Considering where I want to do stuff. Because it's compute intensive. Yeah, OBS is still telling me drawing about 50% of frames. This is weird. And Twitch also says it's unstable. Yeah. The internet in Germany. Yes, I know. Yeah, we only move to the selection state once the movement is confirmed. But that could be too late.
Hey? Give me something to crush. By my honor.
So yeah, now that works, because it's computed when I selected. But I was not fast enough and the breakpoint hit, so let's try that again.
What? Give me something to crush.
Come on. Yeah, I need to wait for that pop-up. because it's not letting me click. Bada boom. Okay.
What?
And if I say I want to go here and
Give
then
me
I want
something to crush.
yeah, that's too late. But that's a problem of the ability, I think. So if we go in here, we first disable selection and rotate to target, but we probably need to disable selection and place the navigator right away. So this should actually be done in parallel. Yeah, I created that. Yeah, that's fine. So I probably need that here to be here. And we need, yeah, this is not sufficient. We need more than that. We need to expose it completely. Let's just go in and whoop, move all of it out of the way. Okay, so it's getting interesting. We have these actions here, and we probably want to add. Come on, let's add them at the end of here. We don't want to execute it. We want to create a action. Place navigator. Right, so we add that here and then we execute that in parallel and do not await it because it's essentially instant anyways. Yeah, it's OCD kicking in. I hate it when they're all squiggly, the lines. Okay, so the mover needs to target. How did we do that here? Place navigator. And yeah, the target is essentially the tile. Gotcha. Where is it? So we get this, and then we say, do this. I don't care about the path in any way, shape, or form. And then we can just go in and put that out of the mind. Do this. Clean up. Yeah, suddenly the battlefield is much more dynamic. But looks pretty smooth on the view side, no worries. Okay. Yeah, I mean 50% is quite a few frames, so that's why I'm asking. But essentially, I should stream at 60 FPS, but now I stream at 30 FPS, since I halved it, right? Okay. Now, if we were to test this.
By my honor. What? Give me something to crush.
Now it works.
Give me something to crush.
Yeah, now we just need to make sure that we cannot move to a tile where another pawn is already at, even if he's still on the way there. That would be problematic. Yeah, that seems to work. So the question still stands. It might be enough if I select myself. So with that knowledge, we should probably implement that. Not the dirty way I did it before to test, but the correct way. Where was it? Yeah, compute coordinates. So in the navigator, we essentially I'm going to require the selectable, since I get information from that thing if I'm going to be, or if I'm selected or not, and I get an event for that, and on the event I need to fire that stuff. Do I have an awake? Where's the awake? There it is. Selectable, get component. Selectable. Okay. Yeah. Dependent selectable component. So this is just to make sure that the awake always finds the component. But I know how the pawn game object is laid out, and I already know that the selectable is there. So this should not be a problem. And here we say selectable on selected. We need a handle selected, right? Because on this event we want to do stuff. Handle killed, yeah, just set tile null. Yeah, that makes sense. And when we do that, we also need to be tidy and remove ourselves, so we don't have memory leaks. Handles the selected event. And in here we just compute coordinates. Yeah, because the shape or the information on the board should be correct at the time that I select, because movement is done on the opponent side anyways when I can't do stuff, and other than that killed would be a type which would make problems, because I don't think we do that right away. We just mark it as killed once the animation is done. So if we want to put an executive attack command, so attack this pawn and attack it again, then there might be a problem, but we need to test that. So for now this solution should suffice. So we don't need that anymore. This is essentially just setting a tile, right? Then we get the coordinates basis, yes. That's the set tile. That's the calculation for all of that. So here we use pathfinding, yeah, there it is. Okay, we need to remove the dirty way as well. So now when we call this, essentially when we select it, then on the navigator it should recompute all of the coordinates of the selected pawn, and that should be enough. We just need to make sure that when something happens, it needs to happen immediately, data-wise, so we can exclude pawns that are probably already dead, but still not because the animation is playing, but that's a problem for another day. Okay, Unity, have you recollected yourself? Thank you. So, by the way, this just opens the settings, if you were wondering. So let's try again. If I do this and then I do this, I cannot move here. Yeah, that makes sense. So now, the big test. If we have path that crisscross. So let's say I move here and I move here. Okay, I'm not even that fast. But you see how this speeds up gameplay, because now you don't have to wait. That's Let's try this again. So let's move here. Okay.
By my honor. Give me something to crush. Give me something to crush.
Okay, I'm not even that fast, and the rotation didn't work, but to look into that. Okay, so next up, we're still in the move ability, so to say. We should probably look into why the traversal points bar down below is not updating when we just say, hey, I plan a move now. So this is also here. Okay. Fire traversal points planned. Okay, how do I get this information? We essentially need to say path length count times match var test. Traversal points. No. The selected has attributes. Yeah, it's just unselectable, right? Or is it a pawn? It's a pawn, awesome. Selected has attributes and it has movement cost, and we just multiply it by the length of the path. So this should be this value, right? Don't delete it. Okay, it takes a float. Let's see. It's interesting because we have two events here. What was it? It was the fire move planned. I can just go in here. And if we find usages of that. The board renderer controller needs to know why. Yeah, sure, that makes sense. And the pawn itself, what does he do? Select the pawn that moved, that planned the move, yeah. We destroy the ghost and then we just recreate it. Okay, so this is just ghost handling, basically. Yeah, we need that. Meaning that this is gameplay wise and this is UI wise. Okay. Yeah, let's test. Let's see. Okay, so if I go in and say this, yes, that seems to work. Awesome. And if I submit that,
give me something
yes,
to crush.
It looks good. Planned traversal points, right? And we will have that right after sequence comparer. Okay. So if the path is equal to the path I previously had, then I just return. Yeah, that makes sense. But it would also make sense to compute that above. So we have the path here. use that, and yeah, that should be it. Cool. That's essentially logically implemented move, I think. We still need to look into how why the ghost effect is not affecting the weapons, because that should actually do it, I think. Yeah, we can throw a debug session in there after we test this again, but nothing should have changed. Thank you, Unity. Okay.
This arrow has your name on it. I am like the wind. Give me something to crush.
Okay, this is a way how we can test that. I just said to the hunter, move in a straight line, right? Or move here. Then I just wait, and then I do this.
Give me something to crush.
It waits. Okay, so the navigation system works that way. That's cool. Great. I need to see this again. I was worrying about the exact problem here. So let's say I just move here, and then I do this.
Give me something to crush.
Yeah. Cool. So let's check back. Plan move. Done. Probably. We should probably test what will happen if I click on another pawn. So I'm in planning mode when I click here.
This arrow has your name on it. What?
Yeah, so it updates accordingly.
By my honor. Give me something to crush.
It's surreal to have two characters running around at once. That's amazing to me. All right. That's essentially move done. So this was just to check what the events were for. The thing is, we could probably remove one of these, right? Now we could do that, because when we go in here and say find usages, so this should also only be in the UI. Yeah, it is. So we could go in, just hypothetical, and try this out. Where was it? Traversal bar. Alright. So traversal points updated and planned. Where's this firing from? That's in the match. So when we change turners and stuff. Okay, that makes sense. So we could say match events on move planned, handle move planned, and then we go in. Where was it? We essentially traversal points are bigger than 0. We calculate. Other than that, we just return the traversal points. Okay, so this is something we need to compute here. We have to select it with the attributes and the movement cost, and then we have the path dot count. But this is that, and we could essentially do this. The player is not used in here, but we would have this information from the selected, so that should not be a problem. So if I just comment this out, and for completeness sake I already do this. And this should do the exact same. So I need to check the other event if the player is needed, but come on, Unity. It's always like 20 seconds if I change a slight bit of code. Okay. Let's quickly test that.
Hey?
Come on. So this still
By
works the
my
same.
honor.
Okay. So let's check the other occurrence. If the text needs the player, and he does in fact not need it. So we could actually move away from this 2 and have just 1. Right. This was this, so let's just do that right now. See what happens. What will happen and where it will go wrong. So we just remove those, and we don't need that anymore. Then we have the traversal text, yes. On move planned. Where is it? There it is. And here we essentially do the same as before. We are going to compute that. Attributes movement cost times path count. And after that we just do the same. We just copy paste that down here. Change that around. Traversal bar. There's still some remnants there. Like this. And like this. Okay. Okay. And don't need that anymore. Yes. So we only use this event, which I think is much cleaner. Fire leaf mode, we can put that together. Leaf mode, we do stuff with selected. What are we doing here? We get the selected and we deselect it, and so we select it again. Why? Because the board renderer is listening for deselect to remove the rendering for the move planned. So this makes sense. So essentially simulating that, but reselecting itself. Okay. yeah, awesome. I think this was the last thing we're gonna do today on the stream. So let's test that, put a little bit of cleanup in there, and then I think that would be it for the stream. And I think it was pretty successful, so we can move around now. And tomorrow putting attack in would probably not pose too big of a problem, since I'm back into the weeds of the state machine right now. It's always the same thing. You forget stuff you implemented if you haven't looked at it for quite some time. It's okay. Let's test this. This should work. Thank you, Unity, for the thing. But yeah,
By my honor.
I guess this should not be a problem. Cool stuff. And this also works. Awesome. Okay. Then just let me do a small commit here. See. Yeah, we changed that. That was important. Then the state machine. Yes, we removed those. Remove that. We added that back, so the navigator is now responsible for computing once selection is happening. Remove those, which luckily didn't pose a problem in the editor, because it could have. Yes, this is, we skipping the state. We wait for stuff, we don't need that anymore. Yes, cleaned up, awesome. We calculate the traversal points ourselves, yes. And same here, and I just saw there is some stuff missing. Handles the move planned event selected pawn to pawn selected pawn to move, path to move. Okay. Yeah, that should be correct. All right. Cool. Let's add that back in. Stage selected. Yeah, we can stage all here. And this is essentially feature. What scope is it? Gameplay. Integrated movement ability or move ability, and added the functionality to execute move commands or to execute unit commands consecutively. No, one after the other. Oh god. Okay, we commit that stuff, and we push this up, and I think this was quite fruitful. We got a lot done. Hopefully next week when I'm streaming, I'm only fiddling around with the graphics, so it makes stuff look better than they look right now. But yeah, awesome. So this would conclude today's Forging Altea with the big reveal of the new HUD, and next week, yeah, we'll see where we will announce it on Monday. So on Monday we will probably know what I will do next week. But since then, yeah. See you on Discord or on Twitter or anywhere else where we communicate nowadays. And with that, I wish you a good night and a good rest of the week and weekend. So don't forget to stay hydrated. But that should be it for today. So take care. Bye, guys.